As always, any of the information that appears in this particular episode is being used under the fair right and copyright use guidelines. So let's get started with today's topic. When I made this video about, I would say a week ago or so now at this point, I was very clear that we needed to talk about healing expectations and moving on. What does it look like to be in community with one another? What does it look like to move on? And in that moment, I did specifically talk about that it was probably quite possible that due to her own trauma of her own childhood and the trauma of her child's childhood, that this relationship would take an extreme amount of work to repair. And unfortunately, before we could even get to all the healing and the kumbayaing, Monique managed to go on stage this weekend for her performance with the Dark Matter Tour. And although we knew that she would continue to do the things that she was pretty much doing famously to Tyler and to Oprah and to DL and to some of her other comedian friends, we weren't quite sure what she would have to say about the situation with her son. As a matter of fact, I had already prepared another video, which is this is what the thumbnail is for, to talk about what does it look like black motherhood. And that was actually the original thumbnail for that video. And before I could even finish completing that video, I was working on that one and another one this morning, and this video came to the internet. Now I'm gonna be honest, she's starting to seem like the queen of at this point. This is literally starting to seem like some kind of real live episode of a horror movie at this point. Um, so here we go. Epic meltdowns presented in association with Horror Mom Films, starring the one and only monster mom, Monique. If this was what she was so that she was screaming for reconciliation, she ain't gonna get it like this.
I've never ran away from who the fuck I am. I've always walked in my shit. I've always owned my shit. And I only apologize if I've done something wrong. But I ain't no bitch that's gonna back up from a motherfucking problem. I'ma walk straight to that motherfucker and I'ma deal with that shit. So today I'm
So this is the person who is at a comedy show telling a room of about 10,000 strangers about a very personal issue that she and her parenting and her quest for fame by her own admission caused. And she is having yet another sweet baby moment. Let's continue.
coming to the airport in North New Jersey. It's the realest niggas I've ever met from North New Jersey. I'm coming to that motherfucking airport and I done just seen this motherfucking TikTok of my goddamn son. Had I known that nigga was gonna do a TikTok the day I brought him home, I'm gonna let y'all take that.
If you didn't hear what she said, if I had known that MFer was going to do a TikTok the day I brought him home, and I am going to let you all finish the rest of that. Again, when I originally started talking about healing and expectations and what it means to look like to repair the harm, and I talked about on that particular episode that there are many of us who do have parents who made horrible mistakes. The 70s and the 60s were full of drugs. They were full of people who were being raised by grandparents and aunts. Those people either went to jail, they got sober, whatever the case they were. If they are still alive and they made it and they did the work, a lot of those children of those people who made mistakes will tell you that they are really good grandparents or they have really close relationships now or they're caring for them as they age because they did the work to heal and move on. And I guarantee you, they didn't tell millions and millions and millions. They probably didn't tell dozens of people about the heartache that they were experiencing. And yet, here we have someone who has all the money and all the resources to make her healing happen. And this is what she does with her opportunity. This is what she does. And like I said, I discussed this still up on my page. I'm gonna link to the video so you can actually go back and watch how I really did try to give her some grace and some benefit of the doubt. Childhood trauma is hard to heal from. And yet, she has not done the work to repair her inside relationships. So, why does she have so much expectations for her outside relationships? That's a problem.
And when you see your child that you fuck for, I fuck for that nigga, not another bitch, it was me. And you see your motherfucking child go on a goddamn internet and tell people all the fuck that you're not. And you just supposed to take that shit in stride. And I'm taking that
She said, all the freak that you're not. Ma'am, you are proving you are all the freak that he said you were.
shit in stride. And I'm walking through the motherfucking Newark airport and this elderly woman comes up to me. She said, Monique. I said, ma'am. Because I'm a respectful bitch, baby. I'm gonna respect this bitch. She know it.
She's about as disrespectful as they come.
She said, let me talk to you for a minute. So I had prepared myself for this old woman to tell me how fucked up I was. I prepared myself to be respectful, but to check a bitch if I had to. I prepared myself to listen. She
She wasn't prepared to listen. And what happened was in this conversation, I seriously cannot make this shit up. Like, it's a horror movie at this point. She's not the queen of comedy anymore.
called me
She's
and
the
told
queen
me
of
to watch
horror.
this goddamn
So
TikTok
listen to the
episode.
audience.
And I watched that shit. I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I want to tell you something. I said, ma'am. She said, fuck that nigga. I said, oh, bitch, fuck that nigga. And when the elderly people tell you fuck,
Ma'am, there are lots of ways to be angry with our kids. Our kids can go out and do drugs. Our kids can go out and commit crimes. Our kids can go out and disappoint us in lots of ways. And there are ways to hold our children accountable, even in comedy, even in making light and making fun of it. There's some of our favorite comedy bits are about people and their family struggles. But this, what you are doing right now in the middle of a situation that you know is broken almost to the point of no repair, is wrong. It is embarrassing. It is destructive. And last and certainly not least, it's not funny.
that nigga, you ain't fuck that nigga. She said, you been taking care of that nigga all his motherfucking life. She said, Monique, I'm 80 years old and I got a son 60 years old. And every time that nigga don't get what he want, he still tell me how fucked up I was when he was 10 years old. Fuck that nigga.
Now, the end of this clip is about to end. I want you to listen to the audience because misery loves company. Monique has curated an audience full of broken and bitter banshees that respond to her siren song, and that is not okay. Because what she doesn't tell you, and I didn't even want to show any more of this, is this supposed old lady that she met at the millions of people that travel in the airport every day. Um, said that she was out there laying it low and busting it wide doing the civil rights movement because somebody had to keep those men drained. Again, I don't know what the goal of any of this is, but I do know that the people that she is calling and responding to a la church speak her language in a way that is probably causing pain at their own homes. That is why they are cheering this on. And if this alleged person that she met in the airport exists, that is why that person so wholeheartedly supports her because she too has done so much to probably break and destroy, to minimize, and to harm those within her own home, that they probably went their behinds out there in the street and decided to harm people in society and ended up on the dang dang news.
Fuck them kids, bitch.
So what the lady says is F them ungrateful MFers. Talking about the kids. Probably talking about her own kids. That was the original screenshot of the original thing that I had planned to talk about when it came to Monique. And after seeing um, the clips as I was working on like I said, a completely different project this morning. I had to stop. Because let me tell you something. If you want to say F the kids, if your kids are not like that lady I getting ready to show y'all in a hot second, if your kids don't have 4 people that are no longer on the census plus 7 wounded in a high school somewhere, if your kids are not somewhere doing federal or state time until their natural life is ended, there is always a way for you to spend the time to do the work to make it right. And there could be hurt on both sides. But unless you like the lady I'm supposed to show you, and even that lady didn't get up there, even knowing what she knew about how much harm her child caused. And all Monique's kid do was come to the internet and tell people that, hey, this woman really, really hurt me. This lady is not praying that the universe send her reconciliation because she knows we are at a place where reconciliation isn't currently possible. That was literally what started all of this. And this is who she became on the Dark Matter tour over the weekend. I can't believe that. So, unless your child is like this lady right here,
I don't think I'm a failure as a parent, but at the time, um, I guess I didn't see.
this is what she said. I don't think I failed as a parent, ma'am. 11 people were destroyed at Oxford High School. And she doesn't think she's a failure as a parent, y'all.
I felt bad that I was sad at those things, and I guess I don't know, I just felt like I failed somewhere. I don't know how to describe it. Just at that point in time, I just kind of felt like somewhere I failed.
Now she had a whole nother set of problems with this whole. I just think he was sad somewhere. Yeah, which is why she got convicted. But that mom, that one right there,
No, as a parent, you spend your whole life trying to protect your child from other dangers. You never would think you have to protect your child from hurting somebody else. That's what blew my mind. That was the hardest thing I had to stomach, is that my child had harmed to other people.
that was her testimony at her trial earlier this month about what happened with her child and the harm that he caused the people in their community. And we have someone who is rich, who is famous, who has all the assets and opportunities in the world, bashing and embarrassing a kid who she believes, not that we have all been told, that she believes is unwell and is her child. So if you would like to donate to the Cash App of the crowdfunding of the next production of 50 Shades of Grey starring Misery Monique, feel free to go on down to the Dark Matter tour. But this channel is about healing. This channel is about the community. This channel is I spent 8 years of my life cleaning up the messes of families and parenting like that. Working with kids who have mental health needs, who have serious mental health trauma from their childhoods. They show up in all kinds of places in our society. And there are lots of people, social workers, caseworkers, mental health professionals, aides, you name it, people in schools who have to spend a lot of time and a lot of energy trying to heal those kids. And sometimes we're not successful. And then you see them on the news. And then to watch a parent like this do and say the things that she has done and said, in my mind, is simply unacceptable. So, as always, family, you know what I like to say? I hope that blessings chase you down. I hope that trouble never finds your door. And I need you to level up because your community needs you. You were created with a gift and a purpose. So get out there, get active, and share it with others. Until next time, treat each other far better than she is treating her child.